Shalom, shalom. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Call Allah Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Barakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostle elders of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopefully elect. It's Brother Exaria. Back with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem HaKodash, Lord willing. This lesson is edifying, okay? And this lesson is going to be, hold on, let me adjust my volume here. All right, feel like it's not high enough. All right, put it at 1440, see what that does. Okay, this lesson is going to be a response to this video here the beloved elder put out out of Baltimore. I'm going to let it play.
Behold, I will raise them out of the place which ye have sown them, and will return more recompense upon your own head.
So like it.
The truth to why I left the Hebrew.
And this is going to be my typical pause and response, just because people make, these videos tend to be a couple minutes long. And so that I can remember each point, I'm going to pause as needed.
Israelite cults. Now, for one, it's all tied into the patriarchal religion. It's still tied into Christianity. They're still reading from the same book. They're still reading from the Bible, whether you're Torah only or whether you're a New Testament.
And so lucky if there's an echo, because I'm not using headphones, so the part that I hear is playing out loud and it's hitting the mic and so on and so forth. First of all, when in society did it become a problem, okay, for there to be a hierarchy? All right. Women were not intended to govern themselves. It never was set up to be that way. Okay. A woman was set up biblically to be under her father and then to eventually be under her husband and to be ruled and guided. Okay. From the beginning, when Eve, all right, was not explicitly watched over and directed, she went off. Okay, she went off. She learned the customs of the heathens, and she corrupted her husband through her actions. All right, and it's typically through her beauty that men are led into doing bullshit. All right, and you get women out here that, get men fawning over them, falling all over them. All right, and it puts their ego up to where they begin to think themselves to be the prize. Now, don't get me wrong. Scriptures say that a virtuous woman, her price is far above rubies, right? So we get that, right? But how many women can you say are virtuous? What is a virtue? All right. All right. Let's do this. I really don't want to go too deep into this. I'm just going to type in virtue and then we'll continue, right? Moral life and conduct and uprightness of life, the opposite of a vice. Moral strength, qualities, abilities, moral strength. Now, there's a scripture on this. It says, and Salaki, if I hit my mic, this is a virtuous woman. A shamefaced, and this woman is not shamefaced. This woman wants to show off her body. She wants to show off her breasts and her booty. All right. She wants men to desire her and want to have sex with her. All right. That's not shamefaced. A shamefaced and faithful woman is a double grace, and her continent mind cannot be valued. What does this word continent mean? It means a mind that is contained. Let's get that word continent. Okay. And, I'm not trying to go on a super tangent here. Self-restraining, temperate, abstemious. What the freak does that mean, huh? Let's see what abstemious is. Paste and go. To be moderate, sparing, or self-restrained in the consumption of food, alcohol, or other indulgent habit. It implies a conscious effort to avoid excess, practice temperance, and maintain a disciplined or frugal lifestyle. Refraining from wine. Abstemious, abstain. away from timium, meaning strong drink or intoxicating beverage. And now we have the spiritual beverage, the philosophies of this world that you women so quickly get drawn up in, freedom, the ability to govern yourself, when in actuality you all need help. All right, you women need help, and you were created to be a help, and you need help. You can't raise a man on your own that's going to be a real man. You can barely govern your own thoughts. Okay, you can't govern and navigate this world. Yeah, you might be getting by right now. You might have a job, you might have done whatever, right? But you need a husband. You need a husband. There's a reason, and women in other countries understand this. It's a lot of you American women that believe that you don't need a man. There's a reason why in the Bible it said that I'm gonna just say mourn, because they have no husband. Okay, and Salakia, once again, if the volume is 2nd Ezra 16:33 says, the virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. You see, you women are all out of whack. You have this outward beauty and you think that you whatever, right? No, the Lord's going to fucking kill a lot of women. A lot of women are going to really see the error in their ways. Okay, as well as men, but right now we're talking about women. All right.
People that's, into this, they know what I'm talking about. So the people that don't.
The scriptures say that a haughty woman may be known by her eyelids. Okay? Or does it say an adulterous woman? You see? The whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. You okay?
It doesn't even matter. Regardless, it's all comes to the Bible. It all ties down to being in the Bible. Correct? Okay. So the reason being why I finally put these things to rest and I finally put these things to aside is because just like in Christianity and Hebrew Israelites, it's the same thing. Women are to find a husband, get married, and have children. This is their sole purpose in life.
Yeah, that's what you were created to do. The original commandment was be fruitful and multiply. Okay? Thy desire shall be unto thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. Okay? A woman wasn't put here to just be autonomous. You have women in America like, oh, I need to find my identity and find myself and find my purpose to serve a man. And if you're not going to serve a man, then serve God, which is by helping the men of God. And if you're of marriageable age, you should want to be the wife of a man of God. You're supposed to dedicate your life to God. That's the whole duty of man. All right? As it says, right? It says in Sirach, no, not Sirach. Ecclesiastes is in chapter 12. I want to say chapter 12. But it might be another one, right? Yeah, chapter 12 and 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. So what is a woman of God, so to speak? What would she supposed to be doing? A daughter of Sarah. She's supposed to serve her husband. All right. And if not, she should be serving the church, man. Point blank, period. All the women in the Bible, these are the two roles that they fit into, man. All right.
Nothing else.
Except for rare cases. But even then, there was still like some service towards a man.
And for me personally, when I was younger, just about maybe 2 years ago, I was obsessed of finding a husband, finding marriage, finding someone to comfort me, finding someone to nurture me.
And really, you're supposed to be a comfort unto your husband. Scriptures say that you're supposed to be a pillar of rest. But women, with these feminist attitudes, they get corrupted by these other women, and these other women tell them, yeah, girl, he's supposed to, other women tell these women, yeah, girl, he's supposed to worship the ground you walk on, and he's supposed to make your life easier, and da 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 da. I mean, listen, in the ancient world, women still did women's work. It wasn't just like, just not doing nothing. You see what I'm saying? And if a man fell upon some type of illness, then that wife was to help her husband out until he got back on his feet. Okay, by taking woman's work. So it wasn't just lilies and flowers and shit. It wasn't all like sweet.
Do all these things that the Bible says that a man is supposed to provide for a woman. I heard all those things, and I
see that proud woman. In America, they teach you that you go get a man and then he slaves himself out for you and makes your life better in every way. That's what we're taught in America, that's love. That's happy wife, happy life. This is what you're taught, which is bullshit. A woman's supposed to help you and make your life easier, really. Okay? But at the end of the day, men still have to labor. We have to do things. All right. And really, both parties were doing something. Okay. But there was an order, because what happens if you have two heads? Where then is the body? You got a head and you got a woman who thinks she should be leading, and y'all are going to be pulling apart at the seams. And y'all not going to be able to cooperate or operate properly. You say go this way. She say, no, I want to go this way. It's out of order. It doesn't work like that.
Really obsessed. And a lot of women are like this today, and they don't even see an issue with it. They don't see the obsession with trying to be married. They don't see the obsession with having children. They don't see the obsession with these things. And they don't even see that it's a problem.
In these days, women are given what options? To go slut themselves out, to go live this lifestyle of pleasure, to go get a job and have your own apartment and run Tom, Dick, and Harry through there, or have a roster of different men that can come slut you out every Sunday or whatever, right? Okay, that's not,
Because we've been so socially conditioned to believe that this is a woman's sole purpose, to bear children and to be married and to be servants to a man for the rest of their life. Come on now. Like I said, only here in America does people's life consist of something else. All right. The life was very simple. Okay. You fed your family. All right. You made sure you had clothing. You made sure you had lodging. You probably had a farm, and you had kids. And then you raised your kids. You made sure they had an inheritance. And then the next generation, it wasn't all this. I'm going to go get a degree. I'm going to go to college. I'm going to do that. These things are new, kind of, you know what I'm saying? So it's just not
weird.
only that, the modesty, covering your head. Now, covering your head.
She got a problem with being modest. She's not shamefaced.
Spirituality wise, we have our reasons. To those who are spiritual, I'm not going to touch too deep on that. But covering your entire body, covering your breasts, your butt, making sure you're not wearing tight, revealing clothing. So
see, she don't want to cover up.
Don't seduce a man and all of this crap that they speak on. All of that is to control the woman.
But you got your cleavage out right now. If you was to walk down the street and see, this is the thing, in society there are these conversations about these things. Well, a woman is told not to dress a certain way because so she doesn't get raped. It's like the victim is being told da 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 da. You can't sit up here and act like men aren't visual creatures and that these things don't entice men. The thing is, you got men out there, okay, that will grape a woman. That's just the bottom line. It's been like that since the ancient world. But the difference is now you got men that'll grape you and then unalive you, or whatever the case is, right? So it just will behoove you especially with the way things are going out here, to not advertise. Yes, it's the possibility that you could still get harassed or even raped without advertising, but the more you advertise, you're increasing your likelihood. It's a statistics game out there.
To control the woman is to shame the woman. It's to shame her of her own body. And it's to shame
But didn't I just read about a shamefaced woman? I just read about that.
Of her own sexuality, because women in Christianity and women in Hebrew Israelite, they are women that cannot express themselves whatsoever.
You should be ashamed of your sexuality. You want to go put your DSLs on somebody. That's what you want.
Have no voice. They have no word. They have no way to express themselves whatsoever. Their voices are completely silent. They are completely silent and under the servitude of their man, and they have to follow their man, and there's not a question about it. In the Israelite community, it's called, the husband is called your head. He's the leader of you, over you, and that's an issue. Yep. That's a huge issue, because no one owns anyone, no one governs anyone. Everyone is their own.
It said, he that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself. Now there's rules on how you're supposed to kind of treat the possession, right? The scriptures do kind of lay these things out. Love your wife as you love yourself. There's rules, but you are, if the Lord have seen fit to give you to a man, then you are that man's possession. Okay.
Own person, and everyone governs their own self. And this was my issue when it came to these things, because I was so tied up, so caught up, and got myself in situations that I should have not gotten myself into for the name of having a husband. And I know there's plenty of women out there that have done the same thing, even if it wasn't in indoctrination from a religion. There are women out there that are obsessed with being married and obsessed with having children. And this thing is truly detrimental to women because they don't know themselves.
They don't know themselves. And like I said, you have that, you have that thing out here where it's like, a woman, I need to know myself. Whatever you say, man. Honestly, you're supposed to know your husband and know what he wants, you know what I'm saying? And if you find yourself in a certain situation, then you're just supposed to have faith, pray that the Lord, remove you from the situation. And he will do, if you're a faithful woman, and you're of the elect, the Lord will do what he's going to do to save you from a situation if it's not a good situation. All right. I always like to quote Abigail and Nabal. Nabal was a rich man, but he was foolish. He wasn't spiritual. And the Lord eventually took him out, and she became the wife of someone who was righteous, which was King David. Okay, so that is a possibility if that's, what the Lord sees fit. I'm not saying that men are not at fault and that men can't be whatever, right? But at the end of the day, this is a big deal. All right, you're told that you can be independent on the honey and making money. You could get down like that. You know what I'm saying? Bills. No scrubs, okay, all this different thing, and the spirit behind it is that I don't need no man, or that I can have my pick and I'm gonna jump from dick to dick. I mean, these are all the different underlying, this song was kind of playing in my head, and now I know kind of why, I guess. But it was like that song that said what does it say? It was some Destiny's Child or Beyonce where it was like oh yeah, all my fellas leave your ladies at home. All my ladies leave your fellas at home. The club is full of bottles and their pockets is full grown. All my fellas leave your girl with your friends. And what is it pushing? It's pushing adultery. Okay, leave your fellas at home because we got bottles up in here with pockets full of money. And like she said, what did she say? She wanted to express herself sexually. Our sexuality is made shameful. It is a shameful thing. It's a shameful thing for you to be out there. You were stoned or lit on fire if it were found out that you played the harlot in your father's house. Okay, but this is why you women, all right, hate the Bible. She even was mad at Christianity. And Christianity, generally speaking, teaches you that you can do whatever you want to do and be forgiven. She mad at that too. She must have came across one of them Southern Baptist churches that told her to wear a dress. You know, who knows, man? Who knows? Either way, okay, this spirit is going to change on women. Isaiah 4:1 is coming. All right, and let's face it. You know, all a man wants, all a real man wants is a woman to be obedient. All right, he don't want to have to work. He just wants you to be able to learn, have a mind well instructed, to be obedient. Don't give him a headache. Just be faithful. Just do as we ask you to do, and don't give us no lip and no headache and no extra. That's all a real man wants, all right? And to be that pillar of rest when we need it instead of a headache. To help support, you know, we got to do things as seeming fit in order to reach the end goal, which is what? To be saved out of here, out of Babylon the Great. In the meantime, you ain't got time to be asking your homegirls in the world what she think you should do in your relationship. You ain't got time to be asking worldly people or so-called Christians who ain't really acting biblically, if they got any advice. Because they're going to tell you, if you was to really disclose the laws, the way that you supposed to be following the law, statutes, and commandments to a Christian, they're gonna look at you like you got 4 eyes on your forehead, and they're gonna tell you stupid, and they're gonna tell you to leave your husband, which is going off, and you gonna listen like a dumbass. All right, and you gonna end up in a weird situation, man. Lest the Lord have mercy. And that's up to the Lord, okay? Generally speaking, we're in the times where great destruction is about to happen, you know, and you got a lot of people worried about the wrong damn thing, man. All right, and it is what it is. But nevertheless, this woman here, something's gonna happen. She's either gonna have a change of heart when the shit really hit the fan, or she'll be destroyed, or she'll be ravished. Since she wants to explore herself sexually, she'll probably get what she wants, more than she wants, without her consent. Hey, and it sounds harsh, but guess what? Those are the times we're coming into, man. Okay, the scriptures say that, man. That men's wives are gonna be ravished. It says that. You trying to separate from a man who should be like as a rock in a weary land and shall, you know, a man is going to be like fine gold. A man of the Lord is going to be like fine gold, a protection, a covering. And you want to flee because you don't want to listen, because you want to be hard-headed. We're going to see where that gets you, man. Give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh Shemel Shai by Shem Kadash. Peace to the elect. Shalom.